What's up guys, it's Ozzy, and in this video we are going to upgrade that $100 GT1030 build that I showcased to you guys about 3 to 4 weeks ago. This video was requested by quite a few different people and I totally understand why. In my GT1030 build video, I had the E8400 paired with the video card and it was very obvious that the video card was being held back by the CPU. Crazy to think that the GT1030 can be bottlenecked even today, but it definitely can. So let's see if a CPU upgrade is going to remedy the situation, and if it does, by how much. So about a week or two ago, I ordered a Core 2 Quad Q9400 for about 11 bucks from eBay. Granted, there are cheaper Core 2 Quad options, such as the Q6600, which goes for a little bit under 10 bucks. Not much cheaper, but cheaper nonetheless. But the Q9400 was one of the few Core 2 Quads that supported the motherboard in my Dell Optiplex 780, so that's the one that I chose. It has 4 cores, as you can probably tell just by the name. It's stock clocked at 2.66 gigahertz. It has a 1333 megahertz front side bus, and it has 6 megabytes of L2 cache. Now, comparing that to the Core 2 Duo E8400, it looks like the clock speed and the extra cores are the only two substantial differences between the two processors. Installation was pretty simple. Even though I'm not a fan of Dell's proprietary and unconventional heatsink, uninstalling it was not difficult, and I took out the Core 2 Duo and popped in the Core 2 Quad relatively easily. The PC booted up just fine, although Windows 10 did think that I still had the Core 2 Duo E8400 installed in there, even though I had the Core 2 Quad installed, but a BIOS update fixed that very quickly. Unfortunately, this computer's motherboard is completely locked down, so I wasn't able to overclock anything. I even succumbed to looking for BIOS modifications to see if there was something out there that would allow me to open up overclocking, but alas, I was met with pretty much no success. Granted, if any of you out there, and I highly doubt this, but it's worth a shot anyway, if any of you guys have a BIOS mod for the Dell Optiplex 780, send it my way. I would love to try it out and overclock the Core 2 Quad and compare it to its performance stock clocked. So with this $11 CPU upgrade, is this computer a more viable gaming option with the GT1030? Well, the Q9400 delivered better performance in 3 out of the 4 esports titles I tested. In some cases, such as Overwatch, a much newer esports title, I gained almost 50% more frames per second on average and stayed above 30 frames per second the entire time. League of Legends is the odd man out. I had a 3% decrease in my average and a 16% decrease in lows. I also experienced frequent large spikes and skips, something that I didn't really experience with the Core 2 Duo. I was shocked at first, but honestly, it makes a lot of sense. League of Legends is almost a decade old, and back in 2009 when it was released, dual cores were still mainstream. With that being said, it makes sense why I didn't take advantage of the extra cores. It wasn't developed with quad-core processors in mind. It much rather took favor of the higher frequency on my Core 2 Duo instead. The Force also shows a substantial improvement in both average FPS and minimum FPS, definitely more than enough to warrant the $11 upgrade. PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds still posed an issue for the system. The average was higher at both 720p and 1080p, but I experienced lag spikes of greater magnitude at 1080p. Here is the frame time graph of the Core 2 Duo E8400 at 1080p using the same settings and computer hardware. Now, here's the Core 2 Quad. You wouldn't believe that the Core 2 Quad was a more fluid experience based on this graph, and that's because, well, it wasn't. 720p was a night and day difference on the Core 2 Quad, but not enough to warrant game playability. It's still a no for me. If only I could overclock it, because I really think that would help out quite a bit in this scenario. Although this upgrade definitely still had some flaws, you gotta keep in mind that it was only 11 bucks, and for that price, I definitely recommend it. At the rate that games are becoming more and more multi-threaded, it looks like dual cores are on their way towards obsolescence in the gaming scene, making this quad-core chip, even though it is an older architecture, that much more important of an upgrade. An $11 upgrade will get you a better gaming experience and a better computer environment overall. I think it would be a pretty interesting concept to check out other computer components around the $8 to $15 price range and see if they can breathe life per se into older computers. It would make a pretty interesting video concept and maybe a pretty cool video series. So if you guys are interested in that, then let me know, because I'm all up for buying cheap stuff and seeing how well they add performance to an older computer. would be pretty cool. And that's it for this video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And I know that this is a much shorter video than my other videos, especially considering the last 2 or 3 have been over 10 minutes, with the last one being like 20 minutes long. But I have a lot of stuff in the works right now, and so I'm gonna have a slew of videos coming out next week. Hopefully, stick around for that. I also got a new camera, some new gear, so a lot of changes are happening, and I'm just trying to get acclimated. But if you liked it, then leave a like. If you loved it, share, subscribe, all of that stuff. And thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.